Well, hello everybody and welcome to another salmon fishing video. This might well be the final hurrah for the season. I actually decided yesterday, after blanking again on the River Coget, that I was going to hang my boots up and call an end to what has been, to be honest, a very damp squib of a salmon fishing year. Since there is a bit of water up here, there's a keel to release on the North Tyne. It's actually just been reduced today from 15 to 11 cubics, which should theoretically be quite a good thing. Hopefully it'll stop any running fish. We're right up the top of the North Tyne today, not far from Keeler Reservoir. So if there's any fish in the system that have been making their way slowly up here, hopefully I can bump into one. It would be lovely to end on a salmon, but I'm not holding out any hopes. I will try and fish with confidence, but you know what? It's hard to fish with confidence after you blank and blank and blank and blank and blank. Anyway, I'm going to have a cup of tea out of my lucky lobster cup here, and hopefully that'll make all the difference and we might get into a fish today. If not, well, it's a final hurrah for the season. Right, I'm going to set my fly rod up. My plan is to fish a tip and 2 dressed flies. So I've been fishing weighted cones recently. I don't know, I fancy a change. The water was low yesterday on the Coget, or certainly it was low-ish. And I was just fishing with a straight 10-foot leader of mono. And my God, what a dream to cast it was compared to fishing heavy tips. It was an absolute pleasure, and I think that's something to bear in mind. Not that I'm qualified to give casting instruction, but if you're struggling with your casting a bit, just fish straight mono, don't use any poly leaders, and then you can use a weighted fly on the point to get your fly down, and then a dressed fly on the dropper. And that's not going to work when you need to fish really deep, but there's plenty of times when you don't need to fish really deep. I'll put this little fly away. Fishing that yesterday, I thought that would be an absolute killer. It's just a little tiny little tube with just some hackle and a little bit of its ultraviolet dubbing in its body there, and I thought that with a silver cone would be lethal, but it hasn't provided me anything. So we'll have a change of tactics today. I know fishing isn't about the fish, and you know that's something you need to consider. If you do get into salmon fishing in a big way, watch out, because it gets really addictive. And you can spend an awful lot of time and effort chasing fish that aren't always there, which is the thing that actually it's been driving me mad all year. Because you know what, no matter how good a fisher person you are, if the fish aren't there to be caught, or they don't want to take a fly, that's another thing. They're just not going to be, and it's going to drive you mad. And it is possible to go, for some people like me, to go on an extremely barren streak. I do go fishing more than most people. I try and get out all the time, no matter the weather. So I'm not a fair weather fisherman at all. You know, I get generally a couple of chances to go out every week, and it doesn't matter what the conditions are like. I'll always find somewhere to go, even if it's like wild and windy. I know the wind puts a lot of people off, keeps them in bed, but I just take it as I come. And the thing is, the more you fish in the wind, the easier it gets, because you just get used to it. And then when you wake up in the morning and it looks like it's going to be like 30-mile-an-hour winds, you just say, oh well, it'll be alright, and it usually does end up being alright. And that's my point exactly. You can take all that into account. You can go fishing in terrible conditions and still blank, and it might not be that the fish aren't necessarily there, because they might be, but most of the time the feckin' things don't even want to take your fly. I don't know who invented this, but whoever it was a masochist. The flies are certainly going to swing nicely. I don't know whether this is necessarily where the fish are going to be, but to be honest, at this point I'm pretty much just actually catching fish. I'm just going to go and swing some flies. Tell you what, how the mighty have fallen. Somebody was telling me about how they had their best season ever, I think 40 fish, and then the next year thinking they're going to put up trees, ended up with 5. It's a very humbling business, of salmon fishing. Stay there, good girl. You stay there. So I'm sort of on course for that. Last year I had 40 fish, and I've had more than 5 this year, but not salmon. There's been a lot of water down on the lower River Tyne, the main Tyne itself, and there's been all this clearer water coming down here. So any fish that came into the Tyne on the big lift, you know, in the system, and there's been a few fish caught lower down. So, you know, they've got to be running. I'll tell you what I'm noticing, and again, this might be just my observations, but I think the fish aren't running as hard. Like, a lot of times I've tried to guess where they're going to be, and I've not just gone on my own information, I've gone on surveillance reports from other people as well. And a lot of the times the fish, like I say, they're not running as urgently as they did last year. But it's weird because it's been a really dry year in general. There's a bit of a rock down there. We'll just take a few steps down and cover that, and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back in further down. Just going to miss out some of this rougher stuff. In the burn mouth here. Well, it's not really a burn mouth, to be honest. It's where the river comes back from a little island. I'm just going to fish this here where the pace is just a bit slower. I imagine it's a bit nicer for a salmon to be sitting in this bottom part of the pool. I've changed my fly. I've took that purple thing off. I think that was a purple alley shrimp, but anyway, whatever it was, I've taken it off and I've put on that little silver cone tube. A little red shrimp looking job. Really, it's just to get down more. This one's been kind of sneaky. Just see, it's not massive. No, it's not tiny though. Anyway, I'm happy to have it. Well, let's not get carried away. I'm happy to have hooked it. It is a salmon. It's very coloured. But it is a salmon, and beggars can't be choosers. Try and net it from here. I can. Yep, we got it. That is a very unexpected salmon. I think you're a cropped up grilse really, but you're a fish and we're happy to see you. And you give a very good account of yourself as well, mate. Alright, I won't keep you long. There we are, nice cockfish, very coloured. Get him straight back. back with a splash. Woohoo! Oh, I'm happy about that. I like salmon in all their forms. You don't have to be springers. Stay there now, stay. Come on, Salmon. Where are you? Oh, it's cold. I'm hungry. It's feeling very autumnal. Although, for the first time today, the wind has completely died off. Which is nice. It's still bloody freezing though. Come on, fishies. Right, this is your last chance. I'll take on this when I'm going home. Last chance. One more. Ultimate cast. Final one. El finale. La ultima. Well, obviously not. Right, this time. Come on. Bloody freezing. Oh, mate. So you last joined me on the river North Tyne. Cheers. When I was pretty much done for the season, but you know what, hope springs eternal, so I've decided to just keep on going. And instead of going home, we'll come up to the Tweed. Coming up. So we're going to go and fish up the upper Tweed tomorrow and the next day as well, just because I thought, well, why not? And it is my birthday on Thursday in 2 days time, so I might as well go salmon fishing. So yeah, the plan is to fish escheals tomorrow, which is an upper Tweed beat. I picked the 2 beats that I could get on first, and the 2 most sort of isolated beats. I don't want to beat with a gilly. I want to beat where I can just go and there's likely not to be anybody else, and we can just spend the day having a bit of fun. So yeah, that's the plan. But obviously this evening I'm gonna have to feed myself, so I've had to scavenge what I can on the road, what I could on the road. And I've got some sausages, I've got a cabbage, and I've got some potatoes boiling away here. So I'm going to attempt to make some sort of bubble and squeak type of concoction, which actually I do really fancy because it's feeling awfully autumnal, and comfort food is definitely the way to go at the moment. Anyway, I've got a good old kind of a fine vintage here, Hazy Jane, and all is well with the world for the last hurrah of the fishing season. I'm off work this week, so why not go salmon fishing? Why not indeed? Well, this one's not such a fine vintage, but you know, sometimes you just gotta rough it. That's hot. This is going to be a wholesome dinner, this one. I don't know about anybody else, but in these uncertain times, I certainly do appreciate good old-fashioned British things. British dinners, British pubs, British beer, British beef, all the great things that our island has. You know, the joke for years was that Americans said that British people had terrible food. Honestly, I disagree. So here we are, the River Tweed. It looks nice. Just a nice size. Plenty of water. So I think it's got about 11 inches on over summer level, which is fine with me. I don't want it too big. It certainly looks very fishable as a goosander. I believe there's 2 holding pools here. This is one of them, below the old mill building, which is up there. But this looks like a nice pool to fish. It looks like it would fish all the way down to that fence. Nice. I've got a 7" per second tip on. I'm just going to leave that just now, and I'm going to put small flies. I'm going to fish small flies today. And then after I fish small flies, I'm going to fish even smaller flies. It's a beautiful day. It couldn't be better, to be honest. Absolutely lovely morning. It's as still as can be. It's mild. There's just that beautiful autumnal tinge in the air. It's nice here. It's nice that you're away from the road a bit. A lot of the Tweed beats I find are too close to the road, so it gets a little bit, I don't know, it's not very peaceful. Whereas this looks excellent. I spent forever trying to choose the right fly, looking through my box, and then I found it. Well, I thought it was going to be it, and then I lost it in the grass. So that was a bit stupid. So I spent 10 minutes trying to search for it and I haven't managed to find it, even though it must be somewhere at my feet. Anyway, we've got this little red shrimpy thing with a silver cone, very, very small. I caught on that yesterday. And then on the point, we've got a size 16 red Francis, which again was a bit of a nightmare to tie on because it's so small I got stuck in my thumb. Anyway, we're ready to go. I can't believe I lost that fly, it's really annoying. There's one more scratch. You stay on the bank, I'm going to go in here and catch a salmon. Okay, that's the plan. You get ready to net it. Yeah, good girl. Got that done already. The water's lovely and clear. Oh, there's two deer crossing the river downstream. Luckily, they're out of scent range for star. They look like roe deer. That was a fish. Nice to see. Didn't look like a total kipper either, which is nice. And the pressure in the air has just slightly changed as well. So that little cold pressure front that just came through there, everything got dark and a bit ominous. Seems to have just slipped on by. A lot of gooseanders on the river. That's at least 7 or 8 I've seen already. Another 3 gooseanders. Bang, bang, bang. Right, I actually brought a secret weapon with me. Thank you to regular viewer Duncan who sent me this box of flies. Don't know whether the box came from Hugh Falcus or the flies as well. I'm sort of assuming that the flies came as well, but I'm gonna put it in there just now. I'm gonna pick one of these because they're so super sparse. Which one to go for though? How about that one? I'll go with that look. Now the plan is to have a run through the pool later on with some of these on, but I'm going to use a much finer tippet. But obviously a lot of tweed fish, they see so many flies on the way up here. I've gone for the 7-pound fluorocarbon. I've got this tiny little fly on the dropper. Maybe it's a size 14 single. And just to aid with a little bit of depth, I've got a cone just above my dropper. I think the water's so clear, and like I say, these fish have seen millions of flies to get up here. So we'll just we'll go with a bit of a mix-up. I'm just going to fish this pool again because it's a lovely pool and it's got fish in it. I think it's just going to be a question of getting those fish to take a fly. It's going to be the hard part. Oh, I tell you what, it's a bit chilly. I'm kind of regretting not having another layer on my legs. Anyway, persevere, soldier on. The salmon will short warm me up. Now the sun's just come out a little bit more, the light's just a bit stronger, and you can see right into the bottom of the water. It's so clear, it's an absolutely beautiful river, the Tweed. Hopefully my tip and that little cone will get them just down under the surface, and as they whiz over, the salmon will be so surprised to see such tiny flies. They'll be like, right, I'll have an eye. Oh, there's a fish just jumped down there. So there are fish here, and usually in salmon fishing that's half the battle. So A, you need fish here, and B, you need fish to take. And then C, you need a stick, especially when you're fishing with tiny little hooks. And we'll just fish through one more time and then have a bit of lunch and then we'll go off and explore the bottom of the beat. I like this pool though, I have to say it's worth coming here for this pool alone, and it was 30 quid for the ticket, so 30 quid just to fish this pool. Totally worth it. I won't hang around too long in the top end of the pool because all the fish that I saw were further down just as it slows. There's a big fish just moved next to that lad downstream. I thought he'd hooked it for a second. Oh, here's the sun. That's actually quite nice because it's warm. Little plane going. Certainly give that cormorant a scare. Maybe it was a salmon angler flying it. Maybe if you've got a plane and you see cormorants and you just gun them down. Right, I'm having a bit of an explore here. It says there's a pool that's fishable at the top of the beach past some old sewage works. So we're going to go and have a look at there. The problem on this bank is access. It's difficult to get in because of all the trees. But I've been looking at the other bank and it looks rather tasty, I have to say, because the pools in this water are absolutely beautiful. At least that one I was just fishing there is a lovely pool. But it would be a lot easier cast from the other bank. So it turns out the other bank is called Kalesey. I think I might have a go at that as well. I'm guessing this is the old sewage work since it's got a gate. Well, I've given up trying to find the top pool. I got lost in the bushes, which is not unusual for me. But anyway, what I have found in the middle of nowhere is this picnic bench, so I think it's probably the best time to have lunch. I found an excellent ball for Star in the way. Not that she's hugely into balls, like. When you've got nothing fancy, you've got some chicken breast for it. And some pork pies. Oh. And a can of Coke for strength. Right, okay, I'm gonna have a fish in here. So I've gone back to sort of traditional style of fishing for me, which is a weighted tube fly on the point and then a dropper. I pretty much use this is sacrificial in a sense, because a lot of times you do get the fish on the dropper, but the tube gets it down. So I can get in here easy enough and fish this bit. There's a nice dark deep patch over there just by those overhanging trees. But I do like this bit here. This off the other bank will be a cracking place to fish. Come on. Star, where are you? Star. Star. Star, come. Good girl, good girl. Stay there, stay. Stay there, good girl. Don't get in the water, stay. There doesn't appear to be any fish in here today. I think what I saw this morning was a pot of fish running through, because since then I haven't seen another fish show all day long. There's a goose on over there, 2 goose handles. God, I hate goose handles, they're everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to give it one more run through. So I've fished all the levels. I fished the top, the middle, the bottom, the very middle, the upper echelons. And now I'm going to give it a blast with a sunray shadow one more time through. But I haven't seen a fish move for hours now. But I'm getting very cold, so I've had to come out for a while anyway and warm up. But I think I can manage one more run through, and then I'm really hungry and I fancy a pint. I actually fancy like an old-fashioned bar meal. So if I get done and dusted now, I was going to go back to the van and get a cup of tea, because I'm paying for a cup of tea as well. But if I just do a quick run through now, and then that'll do me for the day, and then I'll get some dinner and get refreshed and back at it again tomorrow. Any more Joy? Oh yeah, what you had? Oh, get in. Oh, well done, man. It was a bit of a fluke, but they all count. The phone went off, so I went to look at the phone and then put it back, and the line was some deeper, and as I went to cast, it was moving behind. Oh, well done, man. What sort of size? It was just a small one. It was a male salmon, but about 3 or 4 pounds. Did it put up a good account of itself? It definitely did, yeah. Oh, brilliant. So, it was on that same kind of red front there. Right. Oh, well done, man. Do you have any more offers? I've not had a pull all day. I've fished every single different water level, top to bottom, every single fly I've got, and not a pull. It's just the way it goes. Yeah. But well done, man. I'm pleased you're getting one. That's awesome. That's me hooked on the salmon fishing now. Ah, well, that's a dangerous problem, because once you get into it, it's very addictive. Hi. Well, listen, there's worse things to be doing with your time, you know. I've seen the water is even good this week, so I've done a few days off work. Brilliant. Oh, that's excellent, man. Well done. Well, you've earned your dinner, Star. You've been out all day. Right, well folks, I'm back in the van. My God, I'm absolutely bloody frozen. I tell you what it is, I've left nothing on the battlefield today. I let it all hang out. I fished that water up, down, middle, top, bottom, the little bit in between the middle and the top, the little bit in the middle of the bottom of the whatever. Anyway, I tried my best and there was no fish. There were probably a pot of fish moving through in the morning, but they didn't seem to hang around, and I don't think there was any other fish lying around. Surely we would have gotten some sort of a take. Anyway, I was going to go to a pub for my dinner. I was quite fancying steak and chips, but then I thought actually really fish and chips is probably the easiest option. From Tony's Tower in Selkirk. It looks good. It's a breaded fish fillet as opposed to a battered one, so well, let's see how good it is. Oh, it looks nice. Nice and juicy. Yeah, very good. Well, I want to get this into me, and then it's going to be an early night, and then back at it again tomorrow. So I've got one more day tomorrow on my unplanned trip here. I can't do any more days. I actually got offered a day's fishing on Friday, but I've got to go home. I've got no clean clothes left, and I'm running out of food. So, like I said, this was a completely ad hoc trip. I went fishing on... what day is it today? I went fishing on Sunday, and I won't be back home till Tuesday night, so the things you do. Anyway, that's it for this video. It's been a blank, but I certainly tried. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get a fish, but if not, well, that's salmon fishing for you. There's more blanks than successes. See you next time.